Hi guys, Sweet Cheeks here. Can you see Spooky? He's back there. Do you know what that means? Well, if you didn't pay attention to the title, I guess you might know what that means by Spooky being in the background. If you paid attention to the title, then you already know why you're here. Um, I've got a lot to do today because I procrastinated and just didn't do my schoolwork, and yeah. So, I wanted to get this done, and I'm procrastinating doing my schoolwork by doing this. At least this is slightly productive. Um, Anyways, I wasn't sure what I was going to talk about, and I sort of was thinking over the last few days on what I was going to talk to you guys about, because I sort of wanted to try to go, like, past, present, like, back and forth with these, but I haven't really done anything, and my house is actually relatively quiet, so I don't really have anything to talk about. It sort of sucks. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see my next like time I do like a present. Maybe I'll go. I don't know. My friend wants us to try to get in contact with some cemeteries and see if we can like go there at night and investigate and stuff. So if I can get that going, then we'll do that in the future. But for today, I decided before I move on to my next like house I lived in, I would tell you guys about some nightmares I used to have as a kid. And these are like reoccurring nightmares, okay? Um, they happen more than once and stuff like that, you know, reoccurring. The first one took place at like the first house I remember living in. I don't know how old I was when I started having these dreams, but it was sometime before I was 11, okay? Um, Anyways, like this dream was like really weird because I only had it like bits at a time. Like I'd start out and then I'd like wake up and then like the next time I had it I'd get like a little further, the next time I'd get a little further type of thing. So um I'm just gonna sort of tell it like as the whole dream, but it didn't all happen like in one night. It like built up, and once I finally did have like the entire dream, or at least as far as I would dream, I would sort of start realizing I was having the nightmare, and I'd like wake up, or like as I got older, I just automatically knew it was a dream. So usually before I got into the dream, I'd wake up being like, oh, I don't want to have this dream again, type of thing. But anyways, I need a drink. Very thirsty. And look, I've got my tea. Okay, now that my thirst is quenched, um, the dream, it starts off, and I think I was like going to school, and I was like going in the door, someone was coming out, so I like held the door open, and then somebody had pushed somebody, and they like everything like fell out of their hand, so I helped them and pick it back up. And I'm guessing a teacher comes out and was yelling at me like, this is the final straw, like, you know, why can't you learn, type of thing. And I like was like, what, like, you know, what's going on, type of thing. I'm only being nice, you know. And the next part of the dream, I'm like in a trial setting with who is like the president of the world. Like seriously, this guy had like taken over the world and was like the president of the world, okay? And I was on trial, like talking to him, and he was like, well, you're young, we're all, like when we're young, we're all rebellious. I'm not gonna like, you know, condemn you or something because of you being young, type of thing. So he just sort of like let me off, like with the warning type of thing, and like told me to like start acting better. Can you hear the motorcycle? I can. Anyways, and I was like, okay, fine, you know, and this is like at the point where I learned that like in the dream that like doing anything good was bad. Like the president had made it so like you couldn't hold doors open for people, you couldn't help people pick things up, you couldn't like helping was bad, like you couldn't do anything like that. And it was really weird. Like I'm like, why is this stuff bad? And like it just didn't make any sense, you know. To me, I'm like going, this is what you're supposed to do, you know. Well, then it was like the next like part, I think it was like a few days later type of thing in the dream world, and I was going, I'd gotten home from, I'm assuming school, And I get home, and the president and like his little like, I don't know if she was like a vice president, sidekick, whatever she was to him, was there. And so I was like, asked my parents like, why is he here? You know, because I hated him. I thought he was just pure evil, and I like didn't want him anywhere near me, type of thing. Well, my parents are like, well, you know how he travels around the world. You know, he doesn't have a house of his own. He stays with his citizens as to when he travels. And I was like, okay, why the hell is he staying here, type of thing, you know? And of course, like, I'm young, I'm not saying these words, but these are like what I'm feeling, you know? And anyways, so he stays there for a while, and like the one night I heard a noise, so I like go down the stairs, and he was like staying in what would have been like my parents' room in the house, and like they had like weren't staying in there so he could, type of thing. And there was like a wall between like, I think like it was like a closet, like two closets or something, but there's like a big wall, and there was like a projection, like TV type of screen thing there. But then like he was talking to it, and it was sort of like, but you could tell that it wasn't like a barrier. It was sort of like a portal. Okay, like it was a portal to another world type of thing. It's hard to explain, but that's the best way to put it. Is it's like a portal, and they had like, I like saw someone like move between the portal or whatever, and he was like talking to the guy like through the portal, and he was like telling him that that like the takeover was going good, and that he's taken over the world or whatever, and he's on his way to corrupting the world and stuff like that, and that there are a few people still who don't believe or follow his way or whatever, but he's working on changing their view or whatever. And then like I moved or something and made a noise, and he like turns to look at me, and of course that's when I wake up. And every time I've had this dream, I was always like really, really scared, but I couldn't figure out why, because in comparison to some of the other nightmares I've had, it was like nothing, you know, because I wasn't being chased, I wasn't really under attack, like I was being caught was the worst thing, is like he might have seen me, type of thing. So I don't know, it was just always like really scared me. And of course, as I got older, well, like I was raised Christian, but like as a child, we never really talked about like the Book of Revelations and like Jesus coming back or anything, so I didn't really know that. And as I got older and I sort of like learned about that kind of stuff, I was like, oh my god, like I'm having this kind of dream when I was a kid, and it's sort of like, to me, makes me like think like, is this some kind of like connection between the dream and that? Because of course, you know, you're gonna get like false prophets and like a fake pope type of thing, and like a president that the whole world loves and stuff like that. So I don't know if like I still have dreams, and I still have like a lot of different feelings towards like the whole like end of the world scenario when it comes like that. If you guys want to hear more about that, let me know, and I can do some vlogs like specifically on that. Um, but anyways, so yeah, I was always like really scared of that dream, and as I've gotten, like I said, as I've gotten older, I don't really have the dream much anymore, just for the point that either I know it's a dream, so I just wake up, or the point that the dreams I do sort of have like progressed past like just simple like somebody took over the world and good is now bad type of thing. Let's see, the other dream that I had like reoccurring basis was this one that I had, and it was about this like living in a trailer. And the first time I had it, it made no sense to me because I had never been like really in a like trailer, like mobile home thing. So to me, like I was like, my house didn't have any long hallways or anything, so it didn't make sense. But once I moved up north, and the house I talked about last week, it made sense because now we had this long hallway that went from like the kitchen and then went down to like the back of the house where my parents' bedroom was. And the one spot there was on the right, or I don't know, you guys see it might be left, whatever, the right side of the house, and between like the kitchen and on this hallway, there was, the next thing was the door that led into my bedroom. And in the dream, there was this long mirror that took up like that whole wall. And whenever I'd walk past it, I'd feel like something was looking at me, so I'd turn and look, and there'd be like a lady in the mirror. And first she was just a lady, and then she became like evil, like blood drippy, like this really like scary, demented looking like lady in the dream. So I always woke up. And I had it a few times before I moved to the trailer. I had it a few times while I was at the trailer, and I've had it a few times since I no longer live there. And later, I don't know, I was probably like in my late teens, I was talking to my cousin about this dream I had had, and she told me that she had had like the same dream or a dream similar to it, either when she had spent the night at the trailer with me or like afterwards. I don't remember exactly which, but I just thought that was like really weird, you know. And now I'm living in a mobile home again, and it's like my hallway, I have that long hallway from like where the living room wall is, and then a long hallway to like the door to the bedroom. And it's like, and I thought about it the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I really hope I don't start having dreams like that. And I'm like, and I'm never ever putting a mirror in the hallway. Which I guess I don't know why you'd have a mirror in the hallway type of thing, anyways. But I don't know. It just really creeps me out. Like ever since I was a little kid, I've been afraid of mirrors. You know. Um. But yeah, and then after I lived in that house, I had, of course, moved again. This time, we were living in an apartment, and like, you have like like the first floor, which is like sort of like basement like level, like halfway in like under the ground, and then you have like the second floor, and then the third floor, and we were living in the second floor, and I had this dream out several times in a row, and it was like we were under attack by aliens, and like this like guy comes in, and he was like, we gotta leave now, like come on, jump out the window. And like we go out the one window, and there was like something there, so we couldn't like, and then we like ran back to the back of the apartment where like my parents' bedroom was, and like go and like jump out the window and like land on one of the flying saucers. And that was the part I always woke up at. I was like, what the world is going on, And I've never gotten further than that. It's crazy. But I've had it a few times as I've like gotten older, but the same difference. I always wake up, and it's really weird because it's the only dream I have like that reoccurred from like childhood that like changed based on like where I was. Because I had it one time, and I was staying at a hotel. I don't remember where I was, but I was like traveling, and I was staying at a hotel, and the dream changed to where he was like, I think we had like, he comes in the door, and he's like, we gotta go, and he like runs, and he's like, we jump out like the window of the hotel room, and it was like serious. I was in the hotel room, and it was weird because my dreams usually like don't switch like that, but I don't know. Obviously, as you can tell, thing I'm afraid of, aliens. I don't know why, like they don't really like, I don't know. Another motorcycle. I don't really know what it is. I've always like believed in aliens and stuff. I actually saw a UFO quite a few times. Well, maybe saw UFOs quite a few times. They were not airplanes. Okay, I know what the airplane that people usually mistake for UFOs, or at least the government tries to play off, because that's like, I know what that looks like in the sky. I've seen it a few times. It was not that. Okay, but yeah, I'm crazy. What can I say? Those are like the reoccurring dreams. At least like from my childhood, I do have another one that I have reoccurring quite a few times. But that takes place like after I like moved to another house. Which I'll probably talk about next week. I don't really have a lot of like ghostly occurrences from the time I moved into like the apartment to the time that I moved to the house where I like finished off high school and graduated. So from like middle school to like from like 6th grade to probably like 11th, like the end of 10th grade, beginning of 11th grade, I don't really have like a lot of paranormal activity. Um, so there's sort of a gap there, but then it like spikes again, and next week I'll talk about some of the stuff that started occurring. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, and maybe later today, if I get to it, this is on a completely different note. I'm gonna start like a new project thing for you guys. It'll be like a vlog. It'll be like a vlog series I do. I haven't really decided like details of it yet, but if I get time after I finish my papers, or decide to at least finish one of my papers today and decide to take a break, I'm going to record it and start talking about it. So if I get a chance, I'll record and start talking about it, telling you guys about it more, and sort of seeing where we'll go with it. But I don't know, I feel like doing it, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. Also, I know you guys, probably not going to have another video game up this week. I know, like, my brother looks forward to them, so I'm going to try to do something. Most likely, unless I get a chance to do something later tomorrow night after I get my papers submitted, it probably won't happen until, like, Monday night, Tuesday night. Yeah, paranormal vlogs. I'm going to try to have one up Saturdays, I'm guessing, for now on. 'Cause today's Saturday, we'll just sort of go with that. Usually my assignments are due, like, Thursday, Friday, and then the rest are due by Sunday. So I think Saturdays will be a pretty good day where I'll be able to, like, record them and edit and get it uploaded for you guys. But yeah, other than that, I'll talk about things in my next video, I guess. Alright guys, bye!